I will call, oh, that's loud. Thank you. I will call the special council meeting of August 6, 2025 to order. Will you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please call roll.
Madden. Perry. Key.
Here.
Foster.
Here.
Silver.
Here. Is there a motion to approve the council meeting minutes of July 9th, 2025? Moved. Thank you, Phil. Is there a second?
You already said enough. Second.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Anna, please call roll.
Madden.
Yes.
Perry. Yes. Vincent.
Abstain.
Foster.
Yes.
Silver.
Yes. I will make a motion to designate Anna Girardi to serve as the designee of the members of the Orange Village Council to attend the Ohio Public Records Training. Is there a second?
Second.
I'll second that.
Would you like to explain what this is that we're nominating you for? Mayor?
Byron, would you like to explain what it is that they're nominating?
Sure. Once during everyone's term, you have to attend a public records training seminar. This is in state law. I recommend everybody go to at least one, but for some of you who have been on council for over 20 years, Lisa Perry, you may have heard too many of these, and you may want to send a designee.
Designate Anna.
And so that's what this motion does. If the mayor wants to designate her, he would do that by separate action. But I know you've been to the training before also. If you haven't gone, I highly recommend it.
It's a virtual training, actually, so you don't
It's
have to.
online
Yes.
now? But that's, by passing a motion now, she will be able to sign in on your behalf, and you get the credit for going if you can't make it this year. And you have to do once in your term, so we try to have her go at least once every other year, so everybody,
Bennett or something where it was?
it's online.
Sorry? It's on,
Okay.
there's several of them. I'm doing one in September, but if, I'll send you the link if you'd like.
Very fascinating. If you don't
It
know.
really is
public-
interesting, though.
Have we done this before? Nominate her to?
Yes.
Okay. Just don't recall. All right. And
The ethics training, and so doing that at least once is really important too.
Although I don't think that is required by state law. It is a good thing to do.
So probably more important to do.
We did a video training last year.
You have to do that video, remember? You sent the email out?
Yeah.
That, everyone had to do that.
It's done, that's done by video.
There probably is one available, but you have
That
to.
was video last year.
Because I went with you and Kim.
With newly elected officials, I sit down and talk to them about
Yeah.
stuff. And not so newly elected officials, I've done it.
all right. Any other questions or comments? Anna, will you please call roll?
Madden. Perry.
Yes.
Vincent.
Yes.
Foster. Silver.
Yes. Congratulations.
Can't wait to go.
Sorry, it's not in Hawaii.
Ash.
Are there any audience comments related to agenda items? Looks like none. Moving on to old business. Ordinance 2025-18, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter an agreement with CVG LLC, the Western Reserve Land Conservancy, to purchase property located in the village of Orange. This is on for third reading. Mayor, do you want to just go over this real quick once again, just so everyone's aware?
And it's really timely that we're doing this right now. In order to take down the property that will potentially become the park at Harvard and Brainerd, Western Reserve Land Conservancy is purchasing the property. We will be purchasing it from them through funds that we are getting through other sources. It will become the village property. Just this past week, I made a presentation to what's called the NRAC, the Natural Resource Assistance Council, and they're the funder for the project. And I think, did a really good job. There were originally 4 communities vying for their funds. There are now only 3. One was disqualified. The other 2 are Bay Village and Solon. I think we made a really good case for their support to be able to get the funds that will enable that property to be acquired. So this is entering into that agreement. Sorry, I confused the 2. The first piece is for the fire station property that we will be purchasing at the corner of Harvard and Brainerd for the future consideration of the building of a new fire station. So both of these are tied together. The one is we're buying the fire station property directly that will become to the village, and the other one is we're indirectly purchasing the property for the 35 acres for the park. So
Which is the next ordinance.
the next ordinance being considered.
Mayor, I just want to clarify that the passage of this ordinance doesn't necessarily guarantee the construction of a new fire station there. There's a whole lot to go through before that would happen. Is that correct?
Absolutely correct.
And if for some reason that fire station isn't built on those acres, could that acreage be used for any other purpose besides parkland?
The other purposes that the village would designate for it.
And then,
In all likelihood, if not a fire station, then it becomes potentially additional parkland.
I want to note one thing too, because, and I'm sorry if this was discussed at the last meeting, I wasn't here in July, but I absolutely wholeheartedly support the need to expand both our fire and police facilities. We're bursting at the seams, for those of you who are not aware, and our outstanding first responders deserve better. I am in favor of a new fire station that will meet our needs and support the expansion of the space for our police department. But I just would love to have Chief Genova, if you're willing, just to clarify 2 areas that were of concern. One is that I love that we are on one campus here. I love that our police and fire and building and services departments are all together. And I'm just wondering what impact that will have if we're thinking about a fire station removed from the rest of the campus. And then second of all, just how do we reconcile giving up a couple of the acres that we did say was going to be all park to let people know that the benefit of a fire station there is a better use of those 2 acres than not?
Thank you for the opportunity to weigh in on this. As to your first point about being on one campus with the advent of technology and, face-to-face is not, interaction is not necessary. At one time the service department was way down the road. Now they're closer, but they were able to, make things work, and we would make things work as well. To reconcile using this property, this first came up even before Omni was in the picture. When we got the first estimates for the remodel, just shooting other ideas out there, it seemed like a long shot to say, hey, this property is kind of unique because 75% of our calls for service are Harvard and North. That number will only grow with the coming development of Walnut Hills and the completion of the Omni. It also lends to better response times to that area, to the highway. It doesn't really affect our response times to the balance of the village, even, that we're on the south end. Overall, just by the shared numbers, it will decrease our overall response time. Gets our folks back to the station and assembled, to respond to additional calls. It's just that the center of the village is kind of moved up that way. And at the time when this idea was first floated, that just seemed like an ideal area, whether it was possible or not at that time. Omni came in. This property was part of what they were giving back. So that's kind of how we landed where we are today. Where the station is located, that's certainly going to be up to all of the members on the dais that make those decisions. So.
Thank you. I think it's important to hear your response from that because to explain why this is needed and why it's needed there. So thank you.
Sure.
Just to add to that conversation. You know, both Kathy Mulcahy and I felt very similar to you about the cohesiveness of having the concentration of all of our facilities here on campus. But from the very beginning, when we started thinking about what about an alternative plan in lieu of expanding here, I went to Chief Genova and asked him to do a cost-benefit study to us to enable us to better understand the value proposition of having a location not on this campus that better serves the community. And I think at the end of the day, our role as the village administration, village government, is to serve the community as best we can. And if we can do that through having a facility that is more located closer to where the activity is going to be and serves the community in the best way it can, the ability to get together and meet with the staff isn't as critical. I currently, I'll meet with the chief and the assistant chief and the others in the fire department from time to time. It's not as demanding as people might think it is. And therefore, being up there, if there's something I can pick up the phone and call, most of the time that's what I do anyways. I pick up the phone and call the chief and say, I got this question, can you answer it for me? So I think from an efficiency standpoint and a productivity standpoint, we're far better off, or will be far better off, once we can have a facility that meets the needs of the community for the long run. I mean, we're thinking about a 30 to 50-year decision. And here, while this is more immediate, I think that it doesn't serve the community.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing it up.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt.
Thank you, Lisa.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Please call roll.
Madden,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Vincent,
Yes.
Foster,
Yes.
Silver.
Yes. Moving on, ordinance 2025-20, an ordinance authorizing an agreement with CVG LLC, the Western Reserve Land Conservancy, to purchase property located in Orange Village for the purpose of preserving 35 acres as a passive park. This is on for third reading. I think the mayor just kind of explained what this is. Anything else you need to add to that, Mayor?
And I'm hopeful and and when we came away from the meeting, we all felt very positive that we're on the road and we'll get this thing done pretty quickly. And they'll be able to take down the land and return it to the village as a future park.
Make a motion to pass.
Thank you, Stacy. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Lisa, any other questions or comments? Anna, please call roll.
Madden, Perry, Vincent,
Yes.
Foster,
Yes.
Silver.
Yes. Moving on to new business. This isn't an ordinance or anything, but it involves liquor permit renewals from the Ohio Division of Liquor Control. Deputy Chief O'Callahan, are you discussing this? I can. Okay.
The only thing we really have is I spoke to Chief Roberts about this, and we don't have any problem with the current permit holder, so we don't see an objection to this at all.
Let me address it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Under state law, the legislative authority of municipalities have the opportunity to object to liquor license renewals. One time we did it because we didn't like having beer sold at the corner gas station, but we had no evidence to say that they weren't following their liquor license appropriately. So I went there and said, we object, and didn't have any other argument, and they said, thank you very much, and then renewed the liquor license. So we always check with the police department, and if there are objections, we're happy to present the evidence, and we let council know. But the ones who are up for renewal this year have no adverse history in terms of abuse of the liquor license. Usually sale planners, solicitations of various kinds, and also drug sales are usually the things that, yeah, so that they are drawing a negative character. Yeah, yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Any other questions or comments? All right, Mayor Klein, what do you got for us?
Audience
I'm
comment.
sorry, I apologize. Any audience comments related to matters which advance the good of the village? If you could step up to the microphone, please.
There's a thing by the piano.
Please introduce yourself and say your address.
Oh, thank you, Lisa.
Keep your comments at 2 minutes or less.
There, when you're done.
Okay. Jim Stahl, 30499 Jackson Road. It's a question. With the road work being done on Lander Road, the repaving of Brainerd, et cetera, roads which never seem to be of any issue to me, how do we get so lucky or whatever to get these roads done when there's so many other roads in the area that are a lot worse shape than these roads were? Orange or elsewhere, do you have specific funding for Orange, or is the funding paid by Orange?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is? Okay, I thought it came from Texas. Okay, if it's Orange money, that you're allowed to do. I figured it was probably a wider range funding than that. Okay.
Is there an issue with a certain street that you would like us to consider or look at?
No, it's just I was thinking that the funding was more wide range than just Orange Village, and that if Orange Village was being
Well, we
favored, so they could then not pave other roads that are a lot worse shape, but
we do
having not answered that.
get grants from other sources. In fact, we have currently have a rather substantial grant to repave Miles Road in partnership with Solon. That will come as part of the new water line installation that will happen when they tear up.
Much needed.
And our infrastructure levy that we have maintained in the village has allowed us a significant funding for what many other communities have to go out annually to, or semi-annually to their residents for levies to be able to afford. And we've put it in place so that every year we give our engineer and service department, they go out and analyze and look at the road, see where repairs need to be made, and they have the funding to be able to maintain it.
All right, any other audience comments? All right, now Mayor Klein.
Okay, I've got a lot. Well, I briefly talked about the NRAC presentation, which went really great. And speaking of announcements, concrete repairs continue on Lander Road from Jackson Road north to the Pepper Pike corporate line. Traffic will be maintained in both directions, but there may be some delays. Please plan accordingly and avoid the area where possible. The next Orange Artisan and Farmers Market will be this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Orange Village Service Department parking lot at 4680 Lander Road. I hope you'll come. It's really been a wonderful asset to our community. We have a community concert coming up at the amphitheater. The group Replay will perform at the amphitheater on Thursday, August 21st from 6:30 to 8:30. Please stop by to listen. They play rock classics. They're a wonderful and fun band to listen to. The Party in the Park, as you all know, had to be rescheduled due to what was a major rain event in Northeast Ohio, and thankfully we were foresighted enough to suggest that we needed to reschedule. It will take place now on
August.
August 22nd, beginning at 6:30 p.m. And the nice thing about moving it back a couple of weeks is it gets darker a little earlier, so that the drone show might go up before all the kids have to go to bed.
I bet you were relieved when it rained hard that afternoon, weren't you? To justify the decision.
Well, on the other hand, I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. The Orange Artisan and Farmers Market will also be held on Saturday, August 23rd from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So we have a busy few days beginning August 21st. I hope to see residents at all of those events. Computer collection continues through the month of August. Bring your scrap items, e-scrap items to the service department Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Paper shredding is Friday, August 15th at Pepper Pike City Hall from 9 a.m. to noon, or until the truck is full. I received a very nice thank you note from one of our residents, Dolores Moment, on Harvard Road, and I wanted to read it because it really complements some things that we did that on behalf of the community. Thank you for the following through on the speeding signs around the village. Many city leaders will say they'll look into a suggestion but never do it. I'm grateful to live in a community that truly listens to their residents and proud to live in Orange Village. Sincerely, Dolores Moment. And I wanted to thank the police department and their effort to get the grant that enabled us to purchase those speed cameras and signs, and they're being used effectively throughout the village. We are now part of two sustainability groups. One is called the Ohio Building Transparency Coalition, which is helping us to provide resources to reduce our carbon footprint and reduce energy consumptions in buildings and measure our projects to a more energy efficient future. The other is called Soul Smart, which encourages and promotes the application of photovoltaic systems. And I'm pleased to say that we have one coming for approval to Planning Commission at our next Planning Commission meeting. The Lander Circle Kiwanis raised over $26,000 during their 69th annual rummage sale. They are a great organization with a mission of helping one child and one community at a time. I wanted to talk for a minute about stormwater and what happened that weekend that we managed to make the call. In Orange Lakes, there was a substantial flooding that took place over there. We marshaled our team to go over and look at the conditions and offer recommendations to the HOA and the communities, the HOA's management company. What I wanted to make a point of is that the village cannot expend public funds on private property. But that being said, we can help and provide technical assistance to analyze problems and propose solutions. And we put together a protocol for them to help them move forward in the future to avoid what happened that weekend, which was disastrous to a lot of residents over there. Okay.
How many houses were impacted? No?
A dozen.
Okay.
Mostly on Crystal Lake, but interestingly enough, the house on either side of me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I knew that. Yeah.
I don't know why, but my roof leaked, and I had a shower in my shower.
Oh.
In any event, I want to thank the building department, the service department, and the village engineer for coming out and sitting down with the residents who were affected by this situation. Planning Commission met last night. I'm going to make a report on the Planning Commission a little bit on a number of things that were presented and ongoing projects that are underway. The most significant of which was the Omni Development Final Development Plan, the Canyons North, which is the townhouses along the edge of the residential piece of the development, and the presentation for the will be Walnut Hills residential. All of those happened last night. I would encourage people to go to our website if they're interested to see what those things were about. We held the meeting here in the council chamber so that the meeting could be recorded and be streamed for people to observe, so it's on our YouTube channel. Okay. Other upcoming events, I'm going to steal somebody else's thunder for sure here, and that is that the Orange Arts Center is having Orange Art Fest.
I'm just crossing off right and left here.
Orange Art Fest on the weekend on Saturday, August 16th. And they have a really wonderful event that we can all participate in. And I'm going to pass these along to the members of council to take a look at, and others can look at them. They're creating, one of the one of the things they're going to be doing is something called Mural My Community, and they're creating a 6-panel mural that will incorporate elements of all of the communities that make up the Orange School District. There'll be one panel dedicated for Orange Community Education and Recreation, one for Orange Arts Council, Arts Center, one for Orange Village, one for Woodmere, one for Pepper Pike, and one for Moreland Hills. And what I've passed out to the other members of the council is the image of what that mural will look like when it's finished. It's going to be a paint by numbers program, and residents are invited to come up and participate in painting the murals. They will be then assembled together as one individual composition, and then they will be exhibited for a period of time, and then each panel for the individual communities will be sent to the individual communities for them to display. We'll have to figure out where we'll put it here. In ours, it includes the amphitheater, the farmers market, and the park on our playground. So hopefully people will want to come up and participate in it. It should be a great weekend. Lots of things going on at the Orange Arts Fest, August 16th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Orange Arts Center on Chagrin Boulevard, next to the school. Okay, now for the nuts and bolts of tonight's discussion and what I really wanted to get into. And that has to do with, as we talked about earlier, the design for the expansion of the Village Hall and new fire station up at Brainerd and Harvard. And with that, I wanted to go through a couple things and what I'm looking for in terms of action at our next council meeting to move these projects forward. Orange Village intends to design and construct a new fire station located on a parcel at the southwest corner of Harvard and Brainerd Roads. Also plans to remodel, renovate, and repurpose the Village Hall at 4600 Lander Road to accommodate future requirements of our police department, our administration, and design for community facilities here at the Village Hall. Expand what we can do. We requested architectural firms with experience in the planning and design of these facilities to submit qualifications for consideration to assist the village in developing a preliminary design concept and budget. At the end of the day, we have to get both the approval of this council and the support of the community for a bond levy, to be able to undertake these projects. But in order to do that, we have to have a value and a design that will enable us to do so. So, with the submission of responses to the request for qualifications, the review committee met. The review committee was made up of each of the department heads affected. The Service Department Representative Bob Zugan, the Police Department by Chief Mike Roberts, the Fire Department represented by Chief Larry Genova, the Building Department represented by Bob McLaughlin, myself, Jeff Foster represented Consul on that committee, and we all reviewed the packages submitted by the firms that we invited to participate in this. I wanted to give you a little bit of background of what the process was, what the outcomes were, the discussions that we had, so that we can then hand the ball off to Consul for the next step. Initially, 7 firms were invited to submit credentials. Being a past president of the American Institute of Architects of Cleveland and Ohio, I had a pretty good handle on who are the firms that I think had the basic qualifications that, from the work that they've done around the region, that these were the firms that we would like to entertain for our project, and invited those firms to participate in this submission. Ultimately, 5 firms responded. Their submission packages are available for examination if anyone wants to go further. To make the process transparent and objective, the review committee who I told you, we did the following. We created a procedure that included a review matrix that included a scoring methodology for how each firm met certain criteria that we felt were important. We initially reviewed the submission packages individually and then came together collectively and convened to discuss the individual evaluations and determined a short list to consider. We assigned members of the committee to follow up and reach out to some of the references and for the experiences with other communities of the individual candidates that were that came to the village. And then we met to recommend action to be taken by council, which we're going to talk about here. The committee identified and ranked the top 3 firms and suggested consideration of a 4th firm based upon experience with the village. The ranking of the 3 firms was based upon their experience, technical capability, familiarity with this building typology, and other considerations that came forth in their individual presentations. With this evaluation, the order of the firm ratings and the basis are noted as follows. The DSA, I should introduce all of those architectural firms are represented here this evening. Peter Bohan from Process, or not Process, excuse me, from Prospectus. Over here, Alan Renzi and from Bowen Associates, JP Patek from Larson Architects, Eric Pros from DSA, and Paul Deutsch from Bialowski Partners. They're all here this evening. So I felt it was important that they be here to hear what was said and some of the direction that we're looking to go in going forward. So that being said, going down the list in the order that the group came to in terms of how we rank them, DSA and their qualifications, extensive in-house experience with fire facilities, industry experts based on presentations on fire stations at conferences, currently working with the city of Strongsville on a fire station project. I spoke with Mayor Tom Persiak in Strongsville, who indicated their firm is working well in guiding the city through a project with good communications, process, and team leadership. They introduced facility needs that were previously not considered by the city. Richard L. Bowen and Associates has an extensive history in working on public safety services facilities dating back to the 1970s, experienced leadership and work with communities, understand and can communicate, and these are the quotes from our evaluation forms, in the language of safety forces. They're currently working with the city of Willoughby by developing a new police facility. I spoke with Mayor Robert Fiala in Willoughby, who's, by the way, is also an architect, and he indicated the firm has done everything asked of them and more. They've led a great process with effective communications in working with the city of Willoughby. I have to disclose that I worked at RLBA myself in 1975 on the Cleveland Police Headquarters, but that's pretty ancient history. Prospectus, comprehensive experience in public facilities and renovation projects, worked with the city of Lyndhurst in redeveloping the City Hall and Fire Services facility. Speaking with Mayor Patrick Ward, who shared his total satisfaction in the collaboration with that team and how the project turned out, as well as their identifying opportunities that they hadn't foreseen themselves in developing the project. They led a lengthy process to get to the budget numbers sought by the city and produced a critical concept that addressed both site constraints and budget challenges for the project. Lyndhurst undertook the project with a construction manager at risk delivery method, and we'll talk about that later, that was timely, efficient, and cost-effective. And then Bialowski Partners, while not in the top 3 due to their lesser experience with fire and police facilities, the review team expressed interest in giving consideration. Their firm has had a long relationship with the village. They were the architects for the service garage and worked with our building department on the annex. The firm has previously engaged under Mayor Mulcahy to study the design and budget for what was the original expansion and remodel of the Village Hall. So they have very thorough understanding of the facility here in Orange Village. And they have good experience with us. They have extensively engaged with the police and fire in the original renovation, so they have a pretty good and thorough understanding of the needs of our safety services. So following all of that, the recommendations of the review committee are, or suggested, that the fire station and village hall remodel projects need to be designed and budgeted simultaneously. Because of the timing of this project, these projects, and the necessity for a single levy or bond, we need to have both come to the finish line at the same time. There is some efficiency in having one architect for the fire station and one for the village hall to determine the total funding package to bring to the voters at one time. Expertise of the various firms will bring to the village an opportunity to gain a wider perspective and insight for the projects. Where we might have two firms, we may get some perspectives that give us ideas for one project or the other. The firms can work with the village's design team as a collective and then pursue the individual projects. The downside of having two firms is that the village team will need to participate in multiple meetings to develop the project. I'm not sure that's as important as the outcome of it. The architects will then assist the village in considering the project delivery methodology as either design bid build, construction manager at risk, integrated project delivery, or design build. These are three methodologies that differ as in terms of how and what kind of control the community will have relative to the design and construction of the building, and those would be determined on the basis of what's the best fit for each individual project. We agreed to present the findings to the village council as we're doing now, and we would like the village council to consider the determination of a final short list of architects. A schedule for prospective interviews by council to consider the selection, and then provide following which the selected architect would provide a fee proposal for the specific project, will then be reviewed by the law director and presented to council for legislative action. The action that I'm looking for council to consider at our next meeting is to setting up an interview meeting with the all or some of the candidates, if as you determine, and then the objective is to complete the process to be able to go to contract in September, so we can move this project along. In order to meet the timeline to get to the voters on this and to take action relative to what the building will be and when it will be, we need to get this moved forward quickly. I want to thank the five firms that submitted credentials. It was a pleasure to have them. I know them all, and they are all very quality organizations, and they gave us incredibly detailed submissions for us to consider. So that's the summary of my report. If there are any questions or recommendations, I am happy to answer them.
When would you be looking to get this on the ballot for the voters?
I'd like to get it on the ballot in May, if we can. So that means getting this ball down the field pretty quickly.
Do you want to answer questions with regard to this now, or should we wait till next week? What do you prefer?
Insofar as I've handed this out to you today and introduced it today, I think it makes sense for you to have some time to chew on it and then consider what questions you want to ask, and we can address it formally at next week's council meeting.
One just really short question. I know five firms responded and 4 are on here. Are we considering the 5th, or is that not even in consideration?
We didn't. The review team felt that the other 4 firms were so well qualified that we should work with those. So as much as I really like the other, that fifth firm. The others just blew everybody out of the water.
And our policy doesn't require that we open bids to everybody. We can go by invites, correct? Okay, thank you.
For the community to process this kind of information, or would it feel like it's too short, not enough time to process what's going to happen to the extent?
There, as a part of the design process, and I know this is part of all of the submissions that came from the various firms, is that there's a community engagement part of the design process. There'll be input from the community along the way. It's not going to be just foist upon the village without some level of significant participation in what the outcome will be. Exactly. Anything else? Any other?
I think that's so important, the community engagement part of it, because I know so many in the community are tied directly to the fire station, from birthday parties at the early level to the needs that they have. And it's just, it's a bonding experience between the community and the fire department that has been so wonderful. And I obviously want to see that continue.
I think that was obviously one of the considerations that in the criteria was that community engagement component. And each of the firms who participated in it demonstrated in their submissions how they work with the communities. It's not just, we design it, you like it, see you later. They take that community engagement component of it very seriously. I do too. I think it's important that everyone in the community have a voice and be able to contribute to the process.
All right. Any other comments?
Hey, I can find some if you like. Nope,
Okay.
that's all I got.
All right, moving on. As many of you know, today was a deadline to file petitions to run for council in the upcoming election. We had 4 people file for 4 seats, so we're going to see some familiar faces up here, some new faces, some old faces. And I just wanted to say that it's been a tremendous privilege to have been able to represent the residents of Orange Village over the past 6 years. I have decided that I'm ready to seek new opportunities and challenges, and that it's time for me to pass the baton to new leaders in Orange Village. I'm proud of what Orange Village has accomplished during my tenure, and I've enjoyed getting to know so many members of the community. I also want to thank Mayor Klein and Mayor Mulcahy, as well as all the council members I have served with, for their support over the years. Moving on to comments by council members. Mr. Madden.
I have nothing to add today.
Okay. Ms. Perry.
The Parks and Recs Committee is still plugging away at the proposed new dog park. Every month we get a little bit closer. It is possible that we may see something actually before this winter. Just more optimistic. Anyone needs to be optimistic, it's him. Because he has a lot to make it happen. And the garden is finally able to have a booth at the farmers market. So please come and say hello to us. I don't have any idea if I'll have any produce out there at the table. Hopefully people will contribute from the garden. We're just starting to have stuff come in. So I hope a lot of people will come and join us. That's it.
Thank you. Ms. Vincent.
Thanks. I have a lot to share, although the mayor stole a lot of my thunder, so we'll move along a little quicker. But before that, I do want to, I'm sure we'll say more in the coming months, but Brent, I want to thank you for your leadership. It has been a pleasure campaigning with you 7 years ago, and we've been along the ride together, and it's been wonderful working with you on Orange for the Holidays, and your leadership has been tremendous through a lot of difficult times, and I just want to thank you for that. We'll miss you. I want to also commend and congratulate our police chief, though he's not here. Hopefully he'll be listening in on his first anniversary in that role. There was a wonderful article about Chief Roberts in the paper last month. As we reflect on and mourn the tragic loss of Officer Philip Wagner of the Lorraine Police Department, I have renewed gratitude for all of our incredible police officers and their families who put their lives on the line for our safety every single day. So I want to thank the chief, and I want to share my gratitude to all of our fantastic first responders. I also want to belatedly congratulate Chief Genova on his first anniversary and thank all of our firefighters who responded so readily to the fire at Flower in Moreland Hills. I was sorry to hear about the temporary closing, but I'm grateful that no one was hurt, thanks to our brave firefighters. We are so blessed with the amazing leadership team that we have here in Orange, and I'm grateful for all of you. I saw that Hope Meadows is offering group wellness sessions for police officers, firefighters, and other first responders to work with their horses that they have on campus as a powerful, hands-on experience designed to offer and support emotional resilience and reduce stress. I'm sharing the information with them. Hopefully they can find that of use. I won't talk specifically about the Kiwanis sale since that was already done, but I do want to thank all of the many, many volunteers who worked it, who donated, who came to buy and support it. It's just such a wonderful program. Please consider joining Kiwanis if you have even a few minutes. They do wonderful things in our community and really all around the world, so thank you. The Kiwanis Club lost one of its longest standing members this past month. Joe Davis, the former Brady Middle School principal, one of my mentors, passed away at the age of 95. We are so grateful for all he did for the extended community. Ed wrote a beautiful story showcasing his life dedicated to helping others, and we were very touched that Joe's family asked that donations be sent to the Kiwanis Club in his memory. So please consider that. School calendars are out for all residents. I left a stack with Anna, so if somebody wants one, they can see her for that. It's one free copy per household. You can pick one up at your respective school building. Convocation Day is August 15th, and classes begin for all students on August 20th. Our new treasurer, Gary Platko, returned to Orange on August 1st in his new role. He was formerly the Orange Assistant Treasurer. Once he gets acclimated, I will bring him into a meeting for all of you to meet and hear about the impact of state legislation on our public school district. The next board meeting is on Monday, August 11th. Arts and Culture isn't meeting this month, but obviously still at hard work based on everything the mayor said. I want to thank the mayor, Anna, and our awesome service department for working it out so that we can still have the concert and the party in the park back to back. I know that will mean a lot of extra work, but we do appreciate it. So thank you for that. The Arts and Culture Committee will next meet on September 11th. Please come to all the wonderful events that the mayor talked about. One last thing, for the past 5 years, Brent and I, as I mentioned earlier, with a tremendous amount of help from Anna and support from Pinecrest, have spearheaded the Orange for the Holidays booklet. It began as a pandemic project to encourage our residents to shop local and invest in local businesses at a very difficult time. In turn, the residents received exclusive coupons for great deals and even a chance to win thousands of dollars in a Pinecrest shopping spree. Last year, we had some additional help from Phil and Jeff, which I'm grateful for. And I'm just wondering if there's still interest in pursuing that this year. We've now done it for 5 years, or with the addition of the committee work and a lot of the committee events that are going on and things that we're sponsoring, do we want to focus our resources, both financial and physical, on those instead? I'll just put that out there tonight, but think about it, please, for the next week, and then next week we can discuss if we want to do it one more year or wrap it up at 5 years and put those resources back into some of the committees that we're talking about. So on that note, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Jeff Foster.
Veterans Council should be August the 12th. We'll meet out there. What I'd like to do at some point is highlight veterans in the community. Maybe start a Facebook page that Ned talked about. So then if you have like a grandfather or a father or a daughter or something, we can put it up on our little Facebook page and then just tell their story periodically. With all the, just to piggyback on what you said, sir, about the development and stuff, I've had neighbors ask me about additional fields for like soccer and recreation and doing that type of stuff. I believe you got that thing already, but there's a lot of people who need extra space because I believe the high school in that area is kind of overrun with all the different sports. And so all the development with the other divisions have brought a lot more kids that need more space for sports and activity. So I just want to say that in an open forum type of down the road.
All right. Anything else? Jeff? All right. Before we move to executive session, I believe you had something you wanted to address, Steve?
Yes, this is for council. You have a duty in 2025 to put together a,
26?
excuse me, in 2025, a
Oh.
2026 Charter Review Commission.
Sorry.
So between now and the end of the year, you may want to solicit candidates who want to serve on the Charter Review Commission. It's a very short paragraph in our charter. Within 8 years of January 1st, 2002, and within 8 years of the appointment of the most recent Charter Review Commission, council shall by ordinance establish and appoint members of the Charter Review Commission. You do this by a piece of legislation. The commission shall review the charter and make such recommendations to council as the commission may deem appropriate. So in the past, you've done various methods of selecting the commission, soliciting interested parties and that sort of thing, and it's up to you how you want to do that. We don't have-
Comprised of members of council too, or strictly non-council?
There's no qualifications listed. In the past, we have had members of council. I believe Lisa's chaired it at least twice.
I think I have chaired it
Yeah.
and it's a hard commission, so you have to kind of come in knowing that you're going to make it fair for everybody to have a voice and to move things forward or not. Like, you'll get a lot of ideas thrown out, and how that ends up being presented to council as a recommendation at the end of the day. It'll take at least I think I spent 4 or 5 months on it, meeting pretty regularly with a group.
Time schedule is such as you usually want to have the ordinance, if ordinances are going to recommend changes to the charter, you want to have those done to the Board of Elections in time for the August, for November ballot.
And in February, you'll be ready.
Does it?
We invited
No,
a
go
lot
ahead.
of people from the community to join, and we did interview them, but I think everybody who threw their hat in actually was on the committee. So, you get to, if you're going to chair it, you get to make it whatever you want it to be. You have to figure it out.
Does it specify anywhere how many people are on the committee?
Nope, it's open.
Do you, Lisa, do you know in the past how many people have been on it?
I think I had about 8 people on it, and I got young people, old people, people from different types of businesses. It was a really great group. We did a lot of good work, and at the end of the day, we were able to come up with recommendations. So the law department also participates. So Steve, you didn't come, but I think Sarah.
I think I was there.
You were there the first one, the second one you weren't. It was a woman. And now I'm remembering, I was on two. And it's very important because the law department will give you the recommendations for the state of Ohio, keeping up with the state of Ohio code. And that's very important to get our laws up to date. And then the rest is, optional things of,
Part of the process is often inviting even, people who don't want to be on the Charter Review Commission, but they do have a suggestion for the charter. You solicit the public for commentary regarding changes to the charter.
Is a good place to start, maybe having Anna put something in the next e-newsletter that we're looking for people to be involved in this?
Sure.
Okay.
When was the last time this, 8 years ago?
2018.
I would recommend too, like not making the committee too large. Sometimes we want everybody's input, but, even with 8 people, I thought it was sometimes difficult to move things forward. And I would say under 10 would be an ideal group.
Okay.
It was just how it
Anna, could we get something in the next e-newsletter? Maybe work with Steve to get the language down for that? Okay. Okay. We are going to move into executive session now. Is there a motion? We need a motion for this? Yes. Motion to determine by unanimous vote of the quorum by roll call and in accordance with Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22G8, that it is necessary to enter into executive session and consider confidential information directly related to the quest for economic development assistance, including the protection of the interests of an applicant for such assistance or the possible investment of expenditure of public funds to be made in connection with an economic development project, and to consider marketing plans, specific business strategy, production techniques, trade secrets, or personal financial statements of the applicant, or negotiations with other political subdivisions respecting requests for economic development assistance of which to be provided or administered under Chapter 715, 725, 1724, or 1728, or Section 701.07, 3735.67 to 3735.70, 5709.40 to 5709.43, 5709.61 to 5709.69. I'm almost done. 5709.73 to 57.09.75 or 57.0977 to 57.09.81 of the revised code, or that involves public infrastructure improvements or the extension of utility services directly related to an economic development project.
So moved.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, could you repeat?
Can you repeat the third line?
I will second that. Anna, please call roll on what I just said.
Madden,
Yes.
Perry, Vincent, Foster, Silver.
Yes, and we will invite in Steve Byron, Mayor Klein, Dana Kavanagh, and Matt Stasinski, who are over there.